Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start our second chapter of civics, and the name of the chapter is the Union Executive. We are already done with our first chapter, that was the Union Legislature. Basically, the main thing which you have to understand is the Government of India works through its three main organs. The first is the legislature, second one is the executive, and the third one is the judiciary. We have discussed about legislature. What is the function of the legislature? Legislature makes laws. Now we'll discuss the union executive and what is the function of the executive. The executive enforces the laws. So while the legislature makes laws, it is the job of the executive to carry out or enforces the laws. The executive of the Government of India consists of the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. So gradually we will discuss about all these persons. The President. Under a parliamentary form of government, the President is the constitutional head of executive of the Indian Union. As a matter of fact, we can say that the President is only a nominal head, because the government is run by the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers on the behalf of the President, and real executive powers rest in the hands of the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. So suppose if anybody wants to be the President of India, he should be a citizen of India, he should be at least 35 years of age at the time of election, and he should not hold any office of profit under the central or you can say the state government. The elected members of both the houses of the parliament and the elected members of the legislative assemblies, they elect the president by casting their votes. And once the president is elected, he remains in the office for a period of 5 years. And he can be re-elected if he is able to get the confidence of the people. Powers of the President of India. First of all, let us just understand about the executive powers of the president. Most of the appointments are done by the President of India. Let us just understand about all these things. He appoints the Prime Minister and the Union Ministers. He appoints the state governors. He appoints the judges of the Supreme Courts and the High Courts, the Controller and the Auditor General. And he also appoints the Union Public Service Commission. He is the Supreme Commander of all the armed forces, and all the contracts and the treaties with the foreign countries are made on his name. Now, legislative powers of the President of India. First one is the President can summon. Now, what is the meaning of summon? Summon means to order someone to present at a particular place. This is the meaning of the summon. You can write it on your book. And prorogue. Prorogue means to dissolve the parliamentary session. These are the rights in the hands of the president. He addresses a joint session of both the houses of the parliament every year, and as you know, there are 12 nominated members in the Rajya Sabha, and who has the right to nominate these members? President has the right to nominate these 12 members. And suppose if any of the money bill has to be passed in the parliament, it cannot be passed without the president's assent. Means he has to approve the bill, then only the parliament can pass a bill. He issues orders when the parliament is not in session. A state of emergency is announced publicly in the name of the President, and the Union Council of Ministers use the emergency powers in his name. Suppose if any of the state wants to declare the emergency, means there is any emergency in a state, then who has the right to declare that emergency? Only the President has the right to declare that emergency. The President addresses the two homes jointly when they meet for the first time after a general election. Suppose general elections are done, and the first time the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha has to meet, and who addresses this meeting? The President addresses this meeting, and he also addresses the joint session of both the houses of the Parliament at the beginning of every year. Next is judicial powers. What are the judicial powers of the President of India? he is not answerable to any court for the exercise of his powers. Suppose if he wants to take any decision, he doesn't have to answer anyone except in the case of impeachment in parliament. What is impeachment? Impeachment means if he has charged someone with an offense, then only he is answerable to the court of law. Otherwise, for any of the functions, he doesn't have to answer to the court because he has all these rights. Next is he can pardon, remit, or suspend a sentence of punishment given by a court martial. Means someone is given 10 years punishment or 15 years punishment, then he has the right to pardon. He can totally pardon that punishment, or he can reduce the punishment, means from 15 years to 5 years, or you can say 1-2 years. He has that right. And moreover, he can totally reduce the death sentence if he wants to. Now, what are the financial powers of the President of India? The President caused the budget to be presented to the Parliament every year, means he has to pass the budget before the Parliament. No money bill can be introduced without his prior approval. As I have told you earlier, if any of the money bill has to be passed, it is the duty of the President. First of all, he has to check the money bill, then only he can pass the money bill, and his approval is very much required for this. He appoints the Finance Commission from time to time to determine the distribution of taxes between the union and the state. Now, the emergency powers of the President of India. The President can declare 3 types of emergencies. First is national, second is state, and the third one is the financial. Under Articles 352, 356 and 360, in addition to promulgating ordinances under Article 123. Now check the page number 126 on your book. Emergency powers of the President. The President can declare emergency if the security of India is threatened by external aggression or internal rebellion. Means someone has attacked on a particular state, then President has the right to declare the emergency in that particular state. Second, there is a breakdown of the constitutional machinery in a state. Suppose in any of the state there is a threat to the Constitution of India, then he can declare emergency in that particular state. Last one is the financial stability of the country is threatened. Suppose there is a financial crisis in any of the state of India, then President has the right to declare emergency in that particular state. So students, we have discussed everything about the powers and functions of the President of India. Now the Vice President of India. In the absence of the President, the Vice President carries out his functions. Suppose if President is out of station, or you can say he is out of country, then in his absence all the functions of the President are carried out by the Vice President of India. The Vice President is elected by members of both the houses of the Parliament. What are the 2 houses of the Parliament? Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. He is an Indian citizen having completed 35 years of age, means he should have completed 35 years of age, and he should be the ex-official chairman of the Rajya Sabha, and he presides over the session of the House and regulates debates and proceedings. He holds his office for 5 years, just like President of India, and he can also resign before the end of the term if he is unwell or he is not able to fulfill his duties. Then he can resign before his tenure. He may be removed from office by a resolution passed by an absolute majority of both the houses of the Parliament. Suppose he is not able to get the confidence of both the houses of the Parliament. In that case, he can be removed from the office. So students, this is enough for today. In the next video, we'll read about the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.